Islam?
I would say a fair amount.
So you,
Basic necessities.
are you Sunni, Shia, Ahmadiyya?
I mean, I do follow Sunni practices.
Right, so you would accept the Sunni hadith?
Yes.
Right. So what do you think in terms of like, are you a feminist? Do you believe that women should be treated equally and with respect?
What do you mean by treated equally?
What I mean is, how do you think women should be treated in terms of men? Do you think there should be equality between men and women in terms of how they're treated, in terms of how they're respected?
I feel like, and this is something that's definitely mentioned in the Quran, that men and women are built differently, like biologically and it sounds biologically. There's no way denying that.
Right.
Of course, women should be treated with respect. They should be treated with dignity. The Quran shows a lot of compassion towards women. Gives them a lot of rights. And yeah, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you have. You've shown me that from what you believe, especially, that the Quran condones very kind of feministic view. But I would argue it doesn't. For example, there's a verse called Surah 4 verse 24, right? And it says in Surah 4 verse 24 that during battle, a man can literally take a woman captive and have sex with her. So there are sex slaves in Islam. Now these can be married captives, as the hadith say, and I can go through that if you want to. I don't want to force you to. Yeah, there are hadith that affirm this view. That basically, like, Allah sent down verses. Well, He sent out verses, including Surah 4 verse 24, basically claiming that you can have sex with a woman, a captive woman, right? And they were sent down specifically because Muhammad's men wanted to have sex. And I could show you that from hadith. So I'm going to go through.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go on.
You asked me in the beginning, like, how much do you know of Islam? And I mentioned a fair amount.
Right.
To my knowledge, I have never heard of that hadith. And even if I did, I wouldn't know the context of it. Like, I would have to study it. I can't really give you an opinion. Just
right, I'm not asking for an opinion. The one thing I'm not doing is I'm not going to force you to have an opinion about it. But what I would like to do is just to read it to you, and then you can make a decision to later go and look at it. And then
see, that's the thing. Like, even if I read it, I wouldn't be able to fully comprehend it without, like, doing my own research, finding the whole background.
Oh no, understandable.
So I don't think I would be much of help in that sense.
I don't understand. The reason why I'm reading to you, sister, is because I want you to understand what is in it. I'm not trying to get you to defend it in any way if you can't. Let's say I read something to you and you can't defend it. It's not your right to defend it. You can go home, you can look it up, you can speak to your moms. Right?
I understood what you just said about it.
Right. But what I was...
Whether I agree with that or not, I can't really tell you. Right? Because like I mentioned, like, I have to go back and listen to the context and see how accurate it is.
Yeah.
I would have to base it on that and give you my honest judgment based on that.
Yes.
Which is something that I can't really do on the surface, you know.
Understandable. I would say this: if I read it out to you, right, and the words themselves, because I do believe hadith are self-testifying. I don't think you need a extensive view of context to get to, because the context of this hadith is an expedition to Ortos, so it's a battle, which Muhammad's men participated in. So that's the context. And if you look it up yourself, you'll find that that's the context, right? So it's not really lying to you. I want to read this out to you, right? This is Sunan Abu Dawud 2155. Now, Sunan Abu Dawud is a hadith narrator, right? It says this: Abu Sa'id al-Khudri said, the Apostle of Allah sent a military expedition to Ortos on the occasion of the Battle of Hunayn. They met their enemy and fought with them. They defeated them and took them captives. Some of the companions of Apostle of Allah were reluctant to have relations with the female captives because of their pagan husbands. Now understand that these captives, they had husbands already, so they weren't unmarried. Right? Let me continue. So Allah the Exalted sent down the Quranic verse, Surah 424. Let me read on. Sorry, I don't know what that's going on. Surah 424. Come on. Sorry, it's just a woman. So Allah the Exalted sent down the Quranic verse, and all married women are forbidden unto you, save those captives whom your right hand possesses. This is to say that they are lawful for you, are lawful for them when they complete their waiting period. the waiting period is basically an iddah period. Basically, like if the woman is maybe pregnant, they wait at least a month or 3 months to determine whether to have sex with her or not. After that, then my husband will be able to have sex with whatever women they choose to hold captive. Now, would you think this is okay?
All right. First of all, I didn't catch your name.
It's John.
I'd like to give a little disclaimer. We're kind of on a time crunch and we have to go to.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
So let me just give you my conclusion,
Yeah.
and hopefully that could end the conversation. Whenever we go to work, not recently, but I mean like back then, Muslims may go to work, there are certain things that cannot be harmed. Certain people that cannot be harmed. Those include women, whether married or unmarried, children, the elderly and the sick and the handicapped, and nature, if possible. So that's what I know.
I would leave you this question, sister. I would say this, look, if it was the case that a woman, for example, cannot be harmed, would you think it would be harming if a man, let's say a person you're related to, let's say an auntie or something, a man went and kidnapped her while her husband was alive, took her and had sex with her, would you think that would be acceptable?
I don't think this person needs to be my auntie anyway. That's not acceptable for anyone.
Of course it's not.
For any female, for any male, for...
But what Allah is basically saying is that He Himself has sent down a verse accepting that premise. And this is according to Sahih Hadith and according to the Quran itself.
Remember what I told you, John, in the beginning?
Yeah, I understand what you told me.
So I'm sorry, I can't really add more.
I understand. All I'm doing is just planting the seeds. Wherever you take it is wherever you take it.
And I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you. I hope you got what you needed.
Anyways, but take care, God bless anyway.
Thank you.
What do you want me to do? Yeah, basically I had another conversation, lovely Muslim woman there. Her qualms were like basically like when it comes to the verses, specifically in the hadith, that harming women isn't wrong. But my argument was that basically by taking a woman captive, while she's married and having sex with her, you are essentially harming her. And whilst the young woman didn't have the chance to fully express what she meant, I've spoken to Muslims for 2 years. I know exactly what she would have said to me had she had the time to say it. And it would have been a load of defences for such wickedness that's in the Quran. Muslims come to Jesus Christ, and yeah.